Hello, today we are visiting the Shimoni Slave Caves. These caves are situated in South Coast, Kwale County in Mombasa, Kenya. The slave caves are historical holding sites for slaves during the height of the slave trade in the 17th century. These were used as warehouses for slaves who were on transit to Zanzibar. In Zanzibar, those days, there was the biggest slave trade market whereby slaves were sold as commodities. Now, in Shimoni, it was a holding site which was connected to other caves known as the three giant sister caves. All slaves that had been captured in the hinterland were gathered and they were put through the system of tunnels from the three giant sister caves and brought to these caves, whereby they were held here until the ships from Zanzibar arrived, and then they would now be shipped to the ships and taken to Zanzibar to be sold as slaves. Now, these caves reminds us of the history of and the ugly truths about the slave trade, the inhumane condition that these slaves were held. If you look at the caves right now, they are better because there is lighting which has been produced by the community, and they have connected power, which is a new occurrence at this juncture. But there was natural lighting from the sun because most of the caves had opening at the top, whereby there was some natural sunlight. Also, the slaves used to drink salty water, which was in a well, a natural occurring well in these caves. Most of them, of course, died because of diseases and other problems that occurred because of the condition that they were stored here as merchandise. If you visit the caves, you will see that there are some chains, shackles, which were used to restrain the slaves from running away when they were being held here. Now, this for people who love historical sites and monuments. This is a place to visit so as to remind ourselves of the ugly and inhumane nature of the slave trade. Most of the African ancestors died during slavery due to the inhumane conditions that these slaves were put into. Mostly, even food, they only ate dates and salty water, which was not good and sufficient for the human consumption. Now, here is our guide who will explain a bit of the history of these caves.
Their bodies left by the roadside to be eaten by wild animals. Of those that did not reach the coast, many never made it to Arabia, dying of diseases or just plain despair in the atrocious conditions of the overcrowded holds of the slave ships. The sharks learned to follow in their wake for the daily harvest of the dead corpses that were thrown overboard. So the slaves who were captured from hinterland were entered from the other caves. There are some other caves, we call them the three giant sisters caves. Those caves are connected to this one. So the slaves were entered from there all the way up to here. So this was a warehouse for the slaves. And it was called a warehouse because the slaves were laid like goods. There was crossing all the way up to here. In front of us is a well with semi-salt water. This is a natural well, nobody has been cemented. There's a well in the cave connected to this one underneath as well as the sea. So when the sea is high tide, water comes up, and its water, the level goes down. So this water was given the Arabs to give the slaves for drinking. So the slaves were given this water. So there was no other alternative. And the food was dates, nothing else. It is almost certain that these caves were used by slave traders as slave pen, where the slaves were held pending the arrival of the ship to take them on to Zanzibar. There are some metal rings attached on the wood and a piece of rusted chain found in the cave. You can just come and see the chain here. So this sample of rusted chain was found here. Obvious, it was used by the slave traders to tie a slave in the hands or rather on the legs. And this one is a metal ring or a metal hook, and another one is in this corner here. So a slave was chained like this and hanged, while others are looking not to repeat the same mistake. For example, if a slave was removed, chained and vanished, so it was the only totally from a brother's leg. So a sad story. So let's proceed, please. Justin, please.
Now, while visiting these caves, you can also visit Wasini Island. Wasini Island is roughly 2.5 kilometers from Shimoni. You will have to use either a dhow or you can use a speedboat. Usually there are a lot of speedboats there. So you can cross to Wasini and have seafood. They have very nice seafood, seaweed, and there is a group of also women who have come together and decided to farm seaweed. So it is a cultural attraction also there. There is what they call a garden of a coral garden. They have excavated corals which look like a garden. And also there is a site whereby you can visit and see where the old king of Wasini was buried. So these are places that you can visit as you visit Shimoni. You can also visit the marine park, Kisite Mpunguti Marine Park. You can see dolphins. There are dolphins there that can be very attractive to people who like snorkeling. You can see sea life and everything there. So, guys, I would encourage everyone who likes nature, who likes history, about our history, African history, to visit Shimoni, to visit Wasini, to visit even there are other islands called Funzi Island. And guys, I hope you enjoyed our video, and I hope that you are going to visit and enjoy the tour. For the guys who are new here, please subscribe and hit the notification button and join our community so that you can be notified when we bring other exciting videos and information about new and historic places that you could visit and enjoy in Kenya. Also, for those people who have enjoyed, please share our videos, comment, and encourage us in this journey of promoting and bringing to the world historical sites which mostly have been forgotten by people. Thank you very much, guys, for following us. Hope to see you next time in our other videos. Thank you. Bye bye. Adios. Mundu nogeza ukonga mu ikite tripod no yambe kwa sababu this where this one happened blah 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 etela ramu mali kukungi